Back in the good old days of geopolitics, regime change was an honest, hard-working industry. If you wanted to overthrow a government in South America, you called the CIA. They sent a briefcase full of cash, a few hundred crates of rifles, and a military general who wore sunglasses indoors. It was messy, it was illegal, but by God, it had a work ethic. Today, intelligence agencies don't need death squads. They don't even need air support. All they need is an algorithm, an outraged 19-year-old on TikTok or Instagram, and a 62-year-old uncle on Facebook who thinks vaccines turn you into a 5G tower. Welcome to Clearly Ambiguous. Today we explore the greatest leap forward in hybrid warfare since the poison cigar, the weaponization of the generational divide. If you ask a demographer, they'll tell you terms like boomers, millennials, and Gen Z are helpful marketing buckets. If you ask a covert operative, they'll tell you those aren't buckets, those are fault lines. And if you drop enough algorithmic dynamite down the middle, you can collapse a government without firing a single bullet. So, how do you turn simple age gap into a full-scale regime change operation? It takes 4 steps. Step 1. Locate a genuine grievance. Covert operators are lazy. They don't want to build anger from scratch. They look for real problems. Is Gen Z angry? Because iPhones are expensive, college degrees are glorified receipt paper, and too many tests and exams. And the politicians running the country remember where they were when the Hindenburg caught fire. That's a real grievance, absolutely. Now comes step 2. Isolate the information. Next, you make sure the generations never speak to each other again. You feed the older generation content that makes them believe the youth are soft, ungrateful, and plotting a takeover. Meanwhile, you feed the younger generation content that proves the government is run by ancient vampires. And beauty of modern social media is that neither side ever sees what the other side is watching. You have successfully created 2 different realities occupying the exact same zip code. Now comes step 3, the spark. You don't start a riot yourself. You find a young, passionate activist who cares about a local issue. You give their post a little nudge in the algorithm, and suddenly a protest of 50 people becomes 50,000. They take to the streets, they are idealistic, they have clever signs, they are live streaming in 4K, and that brings us to step 4, the dictator's dilemma. This is where the magic happens. The government in power, usually run by out-of-touch 70-year-olds, has no idea how to handle flash mob organized on Telegram. So what do? They send in the riot police, and boom, the trap closes. A 19-year-old student gets tear-gassed on live video. Within 6 minutes, the clip has 40 million views globally. Western news outlets run headlines like "Youth-led movement crushed by regime." Sanctions are drafted, and did the intelligence agency force the police to tear gas that student? No. The government did that all by themselves because they panicked. The subversion campaign didn't create the violence. It just set the stage and waited for the old guys to fall over their own feet. Now, depending on which side of the fence you sit on, this strategy has 2 very different names. If you ask the rest of the world, they'll tell you this is standard Western imperialism. They claim every youth movement is orchestrated by CIA color revolutions, designed to install a puppet government. If you ask Washington, London, or Brussels, they'll tell you they are the ones under attack. They point to Russian bot farms and Chinese state-backed algorithms designed to convince Western Gen Z that voting is useless and the system should be burned to the ground. The punchline: they are both right. Everyone is doing it. Global politics isn't chess match anymore. It's a competition to see who can hack the other guy's culture war faster. If you're a government today, you don't need an army to defend your borders. You need a youth population that doesn't completely despise you. And unfortunately for most leaders, that is the one weapon they forget to build. So where does that leave us? It leaves us in a deeply uncomfortable position because the next time you see thousands of young people filling the streets of a capital city demanding freedom or resignation of a corrupt government, you have to hold two thoughts in your head at the exact same time. Number one, those young people are probably 100% right. Their grievances are real, their anger is justified. And number two, at the exact same time, someone in a windowless room thousands of miles away is watching the live stream and smiling and whispering to himself, "It's working." That is the tragedy of modern subversion. It takes the most authentic human desires for justice, for better future, and turns them into line items on foreign policy budget. So to our Gen Z viewers out there, keep fighting for your future. Just maybe check who's paying for the promoted hashtag before you march and burn down your capital. I'm clearly ambiguous. Thank you for watching and good night.